Hey, welcome back to the channel. I know it's been a while. Haven't really been covering much on the wrestling front, but welcome to the Wrestle Show. I got some rather sad news for the world of wrestling and the WWE universe in general. Apparently, back in December in a match against Sasha Banks, basically Paige, upon making her return, got re-injured in this match against Sasha Banks, and apparently her neck is as bad as what Edge's was, and it looks like she's going to have to retire from in-ring performance. And that's really I think that's a really a big punch in the face, I think, to the WWE's women's division and Paige herself, who's been fighting to come back from injury for, almost, it took her almost 15 to 18 months to return from a previous injury. Counting, of course, there was some suspension involved there, but during all that time she was fighting an injury. She had to have surgery for it. They repaired it. She comes back and boom, she's injured, and the WWE has informed her apparently that she will not be cleared because of the severity of this injury to wrestle anymore. And for me, that's really sad because I really liked Paige. I always liked her in-ring ability. Of course, she was nice to look at, but that wasn't the main thing with her for me was the fact that she was really good at wrestling. She was actually good at it. She's one of the first women I saw, you know, before they started the women's revolution that actually looked like they could, actually put on a good match. And then I started seeing, Sasha Banks and Bailey and all them, because I hadn't been watching NXT, until they brought up Paige, and then all of a sudden I went up and, started watching NXT. So this is really a sad state of affairs here. It's really sad to see that she comes back, now she's gone, and presumably not to wrestle again. And I don't know what'll happen. I don't know if she'll be released from the WWE or what, or if something will change. But if her injury is as bad as Edge's was, then I don't see her wrestling anymore, and that's really sad because she's really young, she's really good, and the fans like her even when she's a heel. Even as a heel, she gets over. And I'll enjoy watching her. I have fun watching Paige in the ring, and now that's done. So I don't know what her future is going to hold. I'm hoping she stays with the company in some capacity for a while. Of course, there's a lot of up and coming talent that's had this happen to them. Their career cut short due to injury for whatever reason. You got Daniel Bryan, who was doing really well, and then all of a sudden had to quit wrestling. And now you've got her, and I'm sure Sasha Banks feels terrible about whatever injury happened. I'm sure, I know for a fact that she didn't intend to do that. So people don't be hating on Sasha Banks for that. I know I've already seen some comments in the past when people have gotten hurt where people blame the wrestlers. It's not always the wrestler's fault when somebody gets injured. Sometimes it just happens, and it's just a sad thing because as a fan of the WWE, a fan of Paige, it's really just it's a shock, I think, at this point. Anyway, Paige, I wish you well. I'm sorry that this happened to you. I wish you well in your future endeavors. And we here at the Wrestle Show will continue to support you in whatever things you do in the future, whether if it's commentating or working in the company, or even if you decide to leave wrestling or leave the WWE, your fans will support you. And I just wish you well, and I'm so sorry that that you're injured to the point that you can't wrestle, and so that's got to be it's got to be terrible for you. Just know that your fans are a little upset by it too, because we enjoy watching you, and nobody wants to see a wrestler get hurt. No matter how much you may hate their character, you don't want to see anyone get hurt. You definitely don't want to see anyone lose their livelihood. So, wish you well. I hope the injury at least heals enough to where you're not in pain in the future too much. And that's really all I got for you today. Paige looks like she's going to have to retire. And if that's the case, it really, really sucks. Anyhow, y'all have a good day if you can. And enjoy the rest of your weekend.